pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us. I'll see clerk here tonight. Public input. Is there anybody here for public input tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on. Amendments to the agenda. Council members. I have one on the consent agenda. It's A, B, and C. There's a D, appointment of EMS. We'll take that separately. And I'm going to do an E, introduction of the public safety administrative assistant. So please add E to that list, knowing that B and E are off the consent, will be handled separately. Any other changes? Council?
Recommend that we adopt the consent agenda, items A through C.
Been moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Kelly? Yes. Betty? Yes. Lee?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Becky? Yes.
Item carried. We'll go to item D. Ask Tim to step up. Fellas.
I have a new EMT that I'd like to add to the service. Her name is Alexandria Meyer. She's sitting in the back. Here she is. She's from Wichita, and she's currently attending paramedic school at Chico, so she's already certified, so we're going to get her service.
Alexandria, anything you'd like to say? Well, thank you for being on the service. We appreciate you serving the community of Lindsborg. It's a great deal that you do, and look forward to seeing you out with the rest of the EMS team and doing that. So now's your opportunity to come forward, take a picture with the mayor. So we can have that.
We'll come around.
I'd like to. Yeah.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 3.
You don't know where these go, but it's okay.
Just stop.
Taking them for months. And we have a motion to approve Alexandria.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion now that we take a picture? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Welcome again.
Thank you.
Tim, how are you again?
Recently, my administrative assistant retired. As you all know, Friday was her last day. We hired Angela Eastman. She's from Texas, by way of Nebraska, and now living in Lindsborg, Kansas. Today was her first day, so I'm invited her to come here to meet everyone. This is Angela Eastman.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anything you wish to say?
It's a busy day. There's a lot of information.
Well, welcome to Public Safety. Again, we appreciate your service to our community and that capacity in that, and look forward to seeing you at the Public Safety Center and notes and whatever it takes there. Thank you again for being part of the team.
She's going to be sure to go for a mayor.
We need that?
No.
We're good.
We're leaving that, right?
We're good. Thank you. Welcome. Planning and zoning, anything? No.
Just wanted to make sure because I didn't want to miss it.
Planning and zoning. Gary? Nothing? Old business, I see none. On the new business. Ordinance 4997, insurance proposal.
I'll make the motion, we approve ordinance 4997.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for 4997. I apologize for getting the computer back up. Discussion on this or explanation from Greg?
Currently, there's on the books in the code that allows insurance proceeds if the damage to a structure, whether it be residential, commercial, is greater than 75% for the insurance, 15% of the insurance proceeds to be distributed and held in trust by the city. The reason behind ordinance can be for fire, wind damage, and I forgot what the third one was off the top of my head. Explosion, thank you. This past legislative session, they have modified the statute that now it can be, is allowed for any type of peril. And the reason behind it, the 15% when the value of the, or the estimate of damage is so high, is to help ensure that if that property needs to be removed, torn down, etc., and the property owner doesn't do it, then the city then uses those proceeds to remove the property, make the site safe. If the property owner proceeds and remediates that particular structure, then those funds held in trust by the city are returned to that property owner plus accrued interest.
Explanation been heard. Do you have further questions of Greg or staff, other staff? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Becky?
Yes.
Emo?
Yes.
Cory?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Motion carried. Item 9B, J.O. Sunturn cleaning contract. We lost our cleaning service. Let Holly tell us about it.
We have been utilizing Allied Maintenance to provide janitorial service for the conference center. Their staff member who was providing those services notified Amy that they were taking a different job and notified her that they were no longer able to work as of immediately, gave her a week's notice. And so she went ahead and proceeded with getting bids from local providers. What we found was that different companies had a very narrow range of where they wanted to work or how much work they wanted to do. A lot of companies didn't want to do that scope of work or would not travel outside of the community that they reside in. So she got 2 bids back. And the recommendation that she gave us was to go ahead and to approve the JMH cleaning janitorial service to cover the first floor of the Central Conference Center. And they were also willing to negotiate with her to clean the upstairs if necessary instead of the first floor. And that was appealing to us, where we're utilizing that second floor more and more all the time and do need those cleaning services.
You've heard the explanation. What is your desire?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Are there further discussions of Holly?
Yeah, I've got a
Or
question.
clarification? Greg
No,
also?
never mind, it's just $100 per week. Never mind, I said one.
Okay, so your clarification, move to approve JMH cleaning service.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Greg, for pointing that
I
out.
have a question. The recommendation is to approve them for $400 per month, but there are some months, I think, that have 5 weeks.
So actually, the quote is for $100 per week.
Okay, sorry, I made a recommendation to approve the expenditure of $400 per month.
It does say that.
Good catch.
So it should be 433 or 405.
Or $100, you get $100 of
I think the 2,400, we need a note of 24 weeks left in the year. Greg's looking down there. He's doing that.
How many weeks are left in the year?
And Holly, on the other bid that we received, there is a very detailed description of the item that's going to be done, description of how it's going to be done. And on the J&H contract, it just says, quote, per spec. So can I presume that the item description on the other bid were the specs?
Amy gave them the list that's provided to you, what was
Second,
expected.
second bid is this next.
By the fourth page or fifth page of that.
Every week.
They were both students.
Okay.
Once weekly and then monthly. I think the first one just didn't list it. They are much smaller than my mom and pop company, sure, and did not provide us professional. Good.
Greg has determined we need to amend to 25 weeks, what would be 2,500 on that number. The motioner,
That's the remainder of 2016, right?
Yes.
Also 17.
Yeah.
we're just cleaning this up as we go, so is the motioner willing to change it to 2,500
Yes, sir.
for 17?
And second,
Motion seconded,
Yeah.
amend the motion.
I got it.
Thank you. Would you read back the motion as amended?
Boy.
We're professional.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'm writing down, and then if you like it, we'll go with that. The motion was to approve the contract with J&H cleaning service in the amount of $100 per week, considering there are 25 weeks left in the year for a total of $2,500.
Year of 2016, correct?
Yes, sorry. Or was it for the end of the year? So, you want me to put 2016?
This is 2017. All right, any further clarification or discussion? Roll call, please.
Kelly?
yes.
Jenny?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Engel?
Yes.
Becky? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, Holly. Tim, do you wish to rise and talk to us about the lift station pump rebuild?
Just say, Bill. We have budgeted to do a total replacement of the lift station. When Chris and the manufacturers started looking at what we actually had there, it was felt that with a rebuild, we put the two pumps, we'd be in good shape. They're fairly large pumps for the amount that they are required to work within that lift station, so it's not getting hard duty. So, we would make a recommendation to rebuild pumps with Johnson Pump Service, electric service. Their bid's for $3,780, and then we'll need an additional $500 for various parts that we need for control.
Everybody's heard the explanation on the rebuild of the lift station pumps. What is your desire?
Take a motion to approve $4,280 to Johnson Electric.
No. I think it's a 42-week, the additional 500 will be spent at various businesses. I don't think it's all from Johnson. That's my knowledge.
3780 plus 500 is sort of.
Yeah, 37.
Okay. I'll change it then to $3,780 to Johnson Electric.
But you,
Plus five.
Plus the additional.
Well, 500 really was spent on it. We need to approve it all at once.
Okay, so what the heck are we doing here?
Okay, here's your options. You can either make a motion, well, one of the options is not make any motion, that's always an option.
Yeah.
but the feeling I did is there's a motion that wants to be made. You can make a motion to approve $3,780 for Johnson Electric to rebuild the Emerald Lake lift station pumps, plus an additional $500 for replacement of electrical control components from other sources for a total of $4,280. Or you can just approve the Johnson Electric portion of it, and then the various control components of $500 fall within staff's spending authority. So if you want
So
to.
if they have spending authority for $500, why didn't they even offer it? It's not coming from Johnson Electric.
Just so you know that it would be the whole package.
I'm just gonna make a motion that we approve $3,780 to Johnson Electric to rebuild Emerald Lake lift station pumps, period.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Whoever that, who's ever asking to go.
I have a question. On here it says, let's see here. B&B Electric sent me an email quote for 1920. Third gave a verbal price for 2,200. Johnson Electric is factory authorized shop for the pump manufacturer as well as the lowest quote.
The first round of quotes that we received was for single pumps, and there are two, so that would be 1920 per pump and 2,200 per pump.
I see. And we're doing
Oh,
two
yeah.
total. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good catch, good question, good answer. Other questions? Jared, roll call, please.
Becky?
Yes.
Abel?
Yes.
Cory?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Betty? Yes. Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you all, item carried. Item 9D, stormwater utility. Who wishes to start the conversation? Tim, do you or does Greg? Tim, tell us about this.
Well, we've had a few study sessions on it, we've talked about it, we've had a presentation from Wilson. We've talked about how we would pay for it. It's the engineering study. I think we all understand there's a large number of projects out there that could and should need to be done. We don't have current funding in place that would deal with it. The beauty of working with a utility is that it removes it from being a tax support option to becoming a fee support option. People that are getting the benefit will pay a fair share. And that's the big part about having this program, studied like ours, is to make it as fair as possible again. But since everybody does contribute to drainage, everybody needs to pay their share. And we do have some problems here. We've had a lot of damage to homes. We've had potential damage along the slough for years, and we know that we've got projects there that can be done. So this is a method that we can put in place to try to address those needs in as fair a fashion as possible.
So is there?
Let's start getting a motion before we go, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to, let's see, is it ordinance here?
It's a purchase from Wilson Company for services to develop this stormwater utility. And
Okay,
$16,000.
I would recommend that, a proposal from Wilson Company for engineering services in the amount of $68,873 for a stormwater utility. Correct?
That is the motion.
It's not a stormwater utility, it's a stormwater utility feasibility study.
Okay. Second.
Everybody understands what we're talking about here. It is the feasibility study portion of the stormwater utility that we're funding through Wilson and Company. Now ask your questions.
And this then is, to back up to Wilson's original survey of that part of the community that was flooded in 2013. Is that the right year? 2013. That study determined that in order to do everything they were recommending, came with a price tag of just over $2 million. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that if we were to fund that $2 million any way, it would have to be utilized just in that part of the community. And one of the choices would be to assess specials, but it would only be it's only going to remediate the problem in that area, correct?
If you developed a flood district, then those dollars that would, by developing a flood district, again, you're assessing a tax, and that tax can only be used within the boundaries of that defined flood district.
So by looking at a storm utility, it minimizes the burden and spreads it across the city at large. Is that right?
Well, that's one way to look at it, but from a stormwater utility standpoint, it's much bigger than that because everybody contributes to stormwater runoff. So it's not just those that were flooded that would benefit, it would be the entire community that would benefit from services because, yes, we did the Northwest Drainage Study subsequent to the flooding. In 2006, we did a Cow Creek study, which ran from the southwest part of town to the northeast part of town. And in both of those studies, it assessed and looked at all of the areas within the community, and essentially every area contributes somehow to stormwater runoff and allows a mechanism to address all those issues in a more, I guess, equitable fashion or even fashion.
And it allows projects across the whole distance.
Correct.
Doesn't isolate them to one area.
Yes.
Okay.
It also, it takes the street sweeper. It's part of stormwater control. Curb and gutter, every culvert we have out there, every manhole, and all part of what's being paid for. So, there's a lot of infrastructure that's in place that we paid for by taxes. Now we take that and put it in a different department.
Plan for it.
Pardon?
Plan for it.
Plan for it.
Upgrade and replacement or install.
And
Other, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the main reason for my questions is so that our listening audience understands kind of where we have been and where we're going. And that this is something that we have talked about and worked at in earnest for the better part of the last 3 years, or at least the last 2.5 years. This is not just something that just sprung up out of nowhere. That's all.
And if I may,
Yes, please.
we have taken some tangible actions. The street department has removed a considerable amount of silt out of the diversion channel west of town. There was a field that was on the west side of the diversion channel that the runoff should have run into the diversion channel, but it was farmed so that it was running to the north and down and then going through the Westview area. That, since it was in the easement that the city, a drainage easement that the city holds, we've corrected that so that it drains properly into the diversion channel. Those trees, et cetera, that were obstructions have all been removed throughout the channel down to the river. So there have been remedial actions in the interim time between 2013 and today.
Occasionally I will hear here in this group, somebody has farmed it in, they've filed over, they've done whatever. How, when a person owns a land and they're going to farm it, how do they know that they can't do that?
Well, the easement was on the land, and probably the same owners that the land was purchased from back when the diversion channel was put in place. There are markers out there that show the boundaries.
It just seems like it happens occasionally, and I don't know, if I'm a farmer out there, how do I know that I'm not supposed to do that?
Well, I'm going to say assume here. Assume they understand this is a drainage easement. You do not get to go crops in it. It's just like where you mow. Sometimes you mow a little too far, and sometimes you don't mow as far. It's just you're just swinging your equipment around. Sometimes you don't get the same spot every time. It's easy to encroach.
Tim, is that area on a preventative maintenance program or a particular file for you now to check that on our
Yeah.
semi-annual basis?
We always check it anyway,
It's delineated now, look for it, you know what you're going to be looking at. So,
yeah.
thank you.
And so when it is farm shut,
We'll find out on a yearly basis.
we'll find it, we, city will find it, and then it'll be up to us to talk to the farmer and say, don't do that.
Everybody just fix it.
You take the grader out and fix it, is that what you end up
You
doing?
take the grader, okay. I wasn't sure how.
Other questions reference the stormwater utility, and the motion is presented to go with Wilson and Company for a stormwater development feasibility study for $68,873.
You know, in our discussion that study session last time about this, and I think the question was asked, are any other towns our size having a stormwater utility? And
The answer is, the short answer is yes, there are other towns. Any town of a population 10,000 or greater is required by the federal government to have such a plan already in place. We're under that threshold, but there are other towns that also have drainage issues that have started a utility so that they can deal with the cost of the projects that are needed.
And so that's these other towns, less than 10,000. We've talked to those people and they said, no, this is going to be.
No, I haven't talked to them, but I've never heard of anybody wanting to get out.
Yes.
Yes, I have visited some, yes.
We talked about how everybody contributes to stormwater runoff, and that creates these problems and so on. But the biggest pressing issue I've had from people is mainly the most recent flood. And the most recent flood was caused mainly by water from the west of city limits. Am I correct?
Yes, it predominates water, yes, came outside, from outside city.
And the diversion channel is outside of city limits. And we can still use the feed from the stormwater utility on stuff outside of city limits.
Yes.
Sure, yes.
Good question. Now, if it was a tax situation, I don't know if I can answer that quickly, but it's in the tax fee for services.
Correct.
So we say we do approve a feasibility study and then we find that it is a feasible thing to do. And let's say we like the idea, what's the process to have this put in place?
Well, it's established actually by charter ordinance. You have to charter out of state statute to establish a stormwater utility. And part of the feasibility study will establish the steps that will have to be followed it'll go through and define everything like what types of maintenance, capital projects, etc. Some of those were looked at and planned out to develop like a 5-year budget. So you have an idea of what fees to assess. Additionally, during the process of the feasibility, I'm assuming the idea is to have a committee of citizens participate in the process for input. Then if the recommendation is to have a stormwater utility, then the charter ordinance is then presented to city council to establish that. Assuming it passes city council, the charter ordinance has to be published twice in the official city newspaper, and from the day of first publication, it can be required to have a referendum, and I can't remember the percentage of citizens that can request that be put on referendum. So there is a vehicle from the public standpoint to require to go to referendum, but it doesn't have to go to referendum. The council could make the decision to send it to referendum, but it's not required. Typically, it's done through a charter ordinance.
Timing would be 6 months approximate for the study, and then maybe 3 months, so somewhere in the 9 to 12 months before it actually would potentially be out there.
Our goal is to have it in place for the running process so that we can work,
Yep.
work in.
Additional?
Just again, state, statement for our listeners. The funding source is actually coming from amount that was budgeted in this calendar year for restrictor plates. But we're going to be talking about what's going to happen with that. We're actually swapping out the cost of this engineering study for the purchase of the restrictor plates for this action. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Which will also be added to another project. It's not being dropped, it's just, we have.
It's just for this project. And we're going to get to that later, is that right?
Not
No,
tonight.
not tonight.
Well, I'm just going to, I'll cover
Okay.
some refunding and improvement on issues.
Additional questions? Roll call, please.
Becky? Yes. Neil?
Yes.
Cory?
Yes?
Rick?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Betty?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yes.
Motion carried, no executive session. Go to department head reports. Gary, please approach.
First, an update on development. Auburn Pharmacy spoke with Burke Peterson recently about their project. He says they're bidding out for contractors next week, and we'll select a contractor. They'll come down and start work on permitting. I've heard that before, but we'll see. He did reiterate that he wants to get it done by the end of the year, so that's good. I asked him if there was anything we could do. We've done a lot. I mean, we rezoned, we annexed, we vacated an alley, got an easement for that. He said actually his biggest problem is trying to get hold of the big factory. They're just developing kind of the front half. There'll be an acre behind that will be farmland. And Dick recently purchased the ground adjoining to the south. And I said, well, what's the problem? He said, well, Dick doesn't have a cell phone. I don't believe that, because my dad is almost 10 years older than Dick, and he has a cell phone, and it's in the trunk of his car. For emergencies. So I'm gonna have more talk to Dick and work out this sewing schedule so that it can be farmed. And we're not
Call with all caps. And
we're not calling Stacy and I question because it's just kind of mess. But this is a good thing. This is unassessed ground virtually. We don't collect any taxes on. We're looking at a pretty good project that we go in. And finally, we have some prime commercial ground being developed on the other. 240 Cole, recently stripped and bare, talked to Stan Henney. I said, Stan really can't talk about it, but just what's the time? And he paused for a long time. So, and I know you can't talk about it. I realize that. But rumors persist about Sonic, and now it's Spangles. Thanks for And, you know, we haven't received a single request for zoning or land use on this parcel. And, for example, back in 2014, when Walmart hit the fan in April, May, and as early as February, we received some inquiries on that specific parcel. Because you have to be, on land use, you have to be real specific. Somebody called me about zoning. I asked for the address. First thing was the address. Haven't had a single request on 244 today. And this is odd because this is a fairly complicated parcel. It's an L-shaped, large parcel, front half C3 with all those uses. The back half is heavy industrial, I2, with all those uses. I mean, whatever somebody's going to do with this parcel, they're going to have to do some rezoning at some point. So I don't see anything happening too soon on that. But we'll keep you posted as soon as we hear anything. On the housing side, we had 2 new residential building permits, although that's actually 4 dwelling units because there's a triplex involved. Last year we had 4 new construction houses built. $1.2 million, that's good. So far this year we're at $1.15 million. We do expect at least 1 more and maybe a couple more after that this year. In development in general, the total value of building permits last year was $1.7 million, not bad, without large commercial projects. This year right now, at the halfway point, we're at $1.5 million. And like I said, Auburn, we expect a good size commercial projects. It's a good deal. On the other hand, Prairie Fire, they were unsuccessful in the tax credit financing, and I have not had a recent conversation with Kelly, he's not calling back. Our expectation is that they will reapply in February in the next cycle, but I don't have insurance of that. We'll see him in August in the next housing conference. But, you know, really, realistically, a year ago, we were talking about this pretty heavily at this time of the year. Maybe his expectation is he's done all the work, all he has to do is reapply. But we have some things that we need to talk to him about, and I will keep trying to talk to him. In the meantime, I am talking to landowners, specifically that project. They're willing to wait. They're also really willing to develop. They really do want to see a subdivision put in. In fact, there's another landowner of 4 identified developable residential properties. Another landowner wants to develop too.
Those are infill, the 4 available.
One, they're not really, no, they're all on the fringe.
Okay.
They're all on the outskirts. 2 inside, 2 outside the city limits. The missing link is development. So they can money down, flat, subsidize, build roads, build sewers. I've got a new potential developer. I've talked to him yet. I'll talk to him this week and see what I have. It's just paving. Parks, I'll be bringing you a request for money to buy more mulch for Viking Valley. That was the one safety suggestion from others and associates. And I don't have a budget for it, but I'll discuss that at the meeting in 2 weeks and show you how I'm going to pay for it. The other project is the Riverside Restroom remodel phase 2. I really want to put in glass block windows. The windows are boarded up right now. I need glass block with the pool that light. We want to improve the ventilation system. And by that I mean put in a ventilation system. Because there's no ventilation. You'll know that if you walk into the building. But this is a cute little building. I mean, I would put this building on the historic register, except that would be weird. But it is, and speaking of that, there are 2 new applications. That's prehistoric. There are 2 new applications for a historic register downtown, 109 North Main, which is currently Art Church. The adjoining building, 111 Candy A. And then it's all part of actually a block. I think it's a single building. I don't know. It's 3 addresses. 113, the old Ryan, is already on the historic register. But these 2 properties are thrown into 2. This is Jim Crew and Scott. And we wish them well in that application. They'll review that in Topeka on, I believe, August 13th. It's a good thing. That's all I have.
Gary, I have 2 things. You may not be able to answer both of them. The first one is on the 240 Pool property. This may be more to Tim Berger, but we talked earlier a little bit that we're 95% there of clearing that property of things.
Yeah,
Under the back of the L still has some issues.
I think it's more 70.
Who continues to pursue that and stay on them?
Well, Stan is pursuing, he mentioned it today.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, that, to me, that would be potentially a code enforcement issue. You can kind of see that gear behind losing more.
Well, the first 70 took months to get there. I don't know if the last 30 will take 5 years.
Does that come a long way?
Yeah. Second item is, I'd like to see afterwards, I have a conversation with him.
Okay. All right, thank you.
What has ever happened about the plan of the Swenson Park?
Still working on that. I've got a consultant who works out of Newton, or Hutchinson, either one. I've talked to some of the architects, landscape architects, who don't really have money to do that. It's a fairly expensive study, even on one simple master plan for the one simple park. And then I've got a former local guy, he is a landscape architect, that maybe I might be able to talk to him in the project too. I do also believe that we have a lot of talented people in town that could provide some insight and input into that process. process, but I think we need someone with some expertise to lead. I don't think I
So
have
it's
that.
not in this current budget.
It is, yeah. Like I say, I'm working on a couple of individuals to come up with a fee structure that I can afford this year. I would like to
This
see it
year,
this year.
Any additional questions of Gary in his areas of expertise? Thank you, Gary.
Thanks.
Item E, recreation. Jim?
First, just a quick update on the water side resurfacing situation. As you recall, we sent a certified letter to the company about 2.5 weeks ago, and we finally received both a voicemail and letter in the mail from the owner of the company, basically just stating that they would be coming out and redoing the whole resurfacing. That way it's back up to standard. At this point, we don't have time set, but it's our assumption that it'll probably be when the pool closes down for the season, just so that we can get the pool empty before they start doing any more work on it. And then also leave us a number to contact them back at, other than their 1-800 number, which goes to an automated system, and then your other lines are full, and so if we leave your name and number, they'll call you back, but this far they haven't called you back yet. So, and then next, as you probably are aware, we had our annual Camp Holidays camp last week. We extended it to a full week this year. Normally it's been 3 days, with the last day being a field trip day. We had 25 kids this year, which was more than a handful. And on Monday, we were here in town. We started out at Swenson Park. We did a whole bunch of just water games with them, with water balloons, relays, and water balloon fight. And then we also set up a slip and slide for them, which was a huge hit, and we had a hard time putting it away because they wouldn't stop playing on it. And then in the afternoon, we finished off with a day at the pool, and we also did a craft with them. They made their own little like spaceship UFOs, which was kind of the same for our theme for our field trip on the last day. Tuesday, we started out at Coronado Heights, and the first part of the day, we did some hiking around the trails there. Set a little scavenger hunt for them, just using the toys that they had kind of flying all around there. And then we also made this little s'mores trail mix snack for them too while they were up there. And then once we finished with lunch, we headed down to the senior center in the afternoon, and the kids actually got to play bingo with all the seniors who were there, and they got to win candy whenever they got bingo. And we were able to make it so every single kid ended up leaving there with some candy. And then we ended the day actually with the chess school. We were in the safety center, and the chess school actually had their own camp going on last week too. So what they ended up doing was they had their own campers come over and taught all the kids in the how to play chess. And it was kind of amazing because at our table, we had a young 8-year-old girl teaching us how to play chess. And then it came around to my turn to play chess and learn how to do it, and I got beat by a 10-year-old. So needless to say, I will not be retired in 35 years as a renowned chess player. Those kids were pretty good. On Wednesday, we headed out to Kanaka State Park for our first field trip, and it was really neat. They had a whole guided tour set up for us and programmed, and so we got a guided tour on one of their trails, and the guide who would stop along the way and tell the kids about the history there, the wildlife, and all the plant life, and they even had some berries that they could taste, which didn't really taste like anything good, and also some of like plant-like leaves they could touch and then also smell. And I think he had them smell it because it didn't smell like anything nice. It's actually kind of gross. But and then after that, after the trail, that was the day we provided all the kids lunch, and so we grilled out some hot dogs for them. And then they finished up their program with some, I think it was wildlife skeleton skulls and furs that come from the wildlife that they have out there, so they got to touch those and look at them and check them out. And then we ended our time there by taking them down to the beach. We didn't actually have swimming planned there, and we specifically told them only put your feet in the water, but they're kids. So one thing led to another, and I go down there, and they're all swimming. So I was like, okay, well, if you're good with sitting in your wet clothes on the bus, then go for it. Thursday, we were back in town. That was the one day where Mother Nature decided she was going to join us for the day, and so that kind of cramped things up in the morning. We started at the elementary school, and then we were supposed to go to the toy store in town and do some arts and crafts with Deb outside, trying to raise the awning, but because it was raining and lightning and
thundering, we kind of had to shove everyone into the store. And if you've been in there, you know how tiny behind her store is, but we were able to find some games for them to do. And there was one group that she was helping them make up stories. And so they kind of had a lot of fun with that. But because it was so cramped and with the weather, Chief was gracious enough to let us come over to the safety center a little bit earlier than we planned to, and so we went over there, hung out for a little bit, and then he and the staff gave all the kids a tour of the police station. They got to see all the vehicles. Like he let them inside the new police SUV, which I thought was cool because it's new and they have a lot of new toys in there. But they liked it, and they got some fire trucks and ambulance. And then we finished off that day on the south side of town with the old mill. They got a full tour of the old mill, and then they got to see a short little video on the old mill, and then they also were able to do a little scavenger hunt through Heritage Square, looking for all the little buildings they have over there. And then our last day was our other field trip. We went to the Cosmosphere Space Museum, and they got to go through the actual museum they have there. And then after that, we took them to about a 45-minute show that was on robots, which was pretty cool. And then there was also an interactive show there with the scientists, and it was basically just how rockets work, and so they got to see how they're kind of built and work. And then we ended the day after lunch with a little planetarium show in the afternoon, which was pretty cool, and a little dome theater. So overall, it was new costumes, but it went really well, and kids seemed to enjoy it, so I think we'll continue with the way we have it set up next year.
We have a new employee in the hospital who, and they just recently moved to Lindsborg, and they registered their kids to join. And Dad was really pleased that they had an opportunity to meet other kids their age and develop some relationships before the first day of school. So thank you for your work on that.
Yes, Kate does a lot of work, we do appreciate it. So thank you for all of that. Item C, Administration and Finance, Larry or Greg, or I'm not sure who's handling that.
First, you have in front of you the general obligation of refunding an improvement bond, Series 2016. This is what's called a schedule of events. What we're looking at is refunding some general obligation debt we have outstanding. That's 13 years left on its life. We'd save about 8% over the current cost by refunding that particular issue, and then adding some improvement bonds. The amount asked for was $605,000. The improvements would be drainage improvements in the northwest part of town that would include the restrictor plates on Coronado Avenue, channel work from between Coronado and Garfield, and then converting the Garfield crossing over the drainage channel from tubes to box culverts. One of the things in talking or in Larry's communication with our financial advisor is that we would more than likely be paid a premium for our bonds. So for the improvements, while the improvements are estimated to be $605,000, the premium being paid would only necessitate us to issue $580,000 worth of bonds to do that project. From a schedule standpoint, it's a pretty aggressive schedule. On August, preliminary official statement would be sent out to city staff to review, make comments, and submit back to the financial advisor. On August 1st, it would be in front of you an ordinance to authorize the project, and by the project, that is the refunding and the improvement bonds, and also authorizing the sale, general obligation refunding and improvement bonds, and authorize staff to approve the preliminary official statement. In between, Larry and I would have a rating call with a financial rating agency. Last time it was with, I can't remember, it was Moody's. And they're estimating right now that we're probably looking at an A rating. our bond. The next item to come before council would be, lost track where it was here on my list, would be on September 6th. And this is where you would actually adopt the bond resolution and the bond ordinance. From there, it's administrative issues that need to be dealt with, the transcript to the Attorney General for approval, bonds to the state treasurer, and those of the actual bond closing would be on September 27th. As I said, the refunding is on a bond. We have 13 years left. The idea is to not to extend that term any longer, but to refund it for the 13-year time frame. Also in front of you, and I'm not going to go through it, is some information for your reading pleasure. And it's a financial statement analysis through June 30 of 2016 for general fund items. Also for recreation, the golf course, and then the enterprise funds of the ambulance, sewer, electric, and water. And read through that. If you have questions, we can either discuss the next council meeting or send an email to Larry or me. We'll be happy to answer you with that information.
Further questions of Greg? Thank you, Greg. Item number 12, others. I do have another, nobody else does. I want to take the opportunity to thank Becky. It's 15 years. Becky has sold her home and will be moving out of her area and that. And so her ward, 15 years that she served on council since 2001. And we appreciate your time and your dedication and your spirit for the community. You have a great spirit of that. Very much appreciated. So with that, we're going to take another picture. This time it's going to be all council members with Becky. And we don't know where it's going to end up, but we're going to use it.
Go to the city's Facebook page once in a while.
Facebook, but what's that? So that's all I have. Are there any others? Please join me up here for a picture with Becky. We're going to be a little delayed. Greg is
Wide angle lens?
Becky, you want to sit in the middle, please? Richard, here on the other side, and
Okay.
I don't think it's going to make us double up.
No, if you all just turn towards the center
Turn towards Becky.
and then slide in.
And look at her with the Dorian eyes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is the height, everything go good, or do you need to move anybody around?
Do you want us to just a little?
Yeah,
Very
Jeff's
goofy.
Yeah.
Where did we go?
You might get the
He laughs. You're just standing there.
For our viewer and the public. The viewer.
No battery.
1, 2, 3. Take another couple anyway. Okay, 1, 2, smile big, 3.
Okay, one more, which is Becky, and I'll show you shaking her hand. Okay, so you guys get out.
So show us how you're underneath the.
Okay, yeah. Center yourself. Now this one, just move there. We go.
The picture's in there.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's moved, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All same sign. Thank you very much.
Thank you.